Hey, Ryan, you got Pokemon Go? Wait, what are you doing in the middle of the street?
Oh, hey, nothing. I just found a Pikachu. I was just gonna go over here and try to...
Holy fuck!
Welcome back to the Explosion of Happiness, episode number 40. It is July 7th, 2016. It's time to talk about video games, I think, or something like that. I am your host, Ryan.
And I'm your other host, Andrew. And in this weekly podcast, we talk about video games and, other stuff, like movies.
Or one movie in particular.
One amazing fucking movie.
Spectacular.
It was the greatest. Changed my life.
Phenomenal. Riveting.
Completely changed my outlook on humanity. Gave me hope to live.
What other buzzwords are there?
I don't know. Like, deep.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Spectacular. Again.
Is this still reviewing like shit? I
don't know.
I haven't looked. I'm going to check Rotten Tomatoes really quick. I'm noticing way more fresh reviews ever since it came out. But it's still 30% rotten, so you know what?
Critics or audience?
36% from the audience, too. Like, this is the first time I'm tempted. Let's see if I can just do this without having to... it's making me sign up. I hate... I might do it later. Because we're talking about Independence Day Resurgence, which I think the quickest and easiest way to explain this movie is what you said about the director.
He's like Michael Bay without the bullshit.
Yeah, he's Michael Bay, but good. And that's a very apt description.
He still makes trashy movies, but really fun trashy movies that never stop the momentum.
Right.
And I've only seen a handful of his movies. Like, I saw Stargate, which I didn't really like that much. The Independence Day original, which I loved. And then this movie. It was like... Even compared to the original Independence Day movie, this one was just a fucking complete rodeo of filmmaking insanity, but that's why it was so much fun.
Right. It just looked really good. It had a really good flow, which I think is super important to these movies. Like Godzilla that came out with Bryan Cranston, the momentum, the flow of that movie was fucked up and all over the place, which made it really shitty. This movie, once it starts going, just does not stop. And it gets to the point pretty fucking quick. You don't spend a lot of bullshit building up the characters that you honestly don't care about. It gives you just enough to give you an idea of who these guys are, and then bam, aliens. And you know what? That's what this shit needs to be.
I don't think I would say it flowed well. I'd just say that it just didn't drag. Instead of like trying to develop everything really well, it just kept cutting scene after scene, just getting you to the good stuff. And then once the good stuff shows up, you're happy, you're ready for it, you're not tired and bored. I can't sit here and scratch my beard and try to be articulate and talk about how it was like this refined. It was just fun. I got fucking drunk. We went in. I was cracking jokes, watching Jeff Goldblum be Jeff Goldblum. There's fucking aliens and stuff. Things are blowing up. Funny shit is constantly happening. The fucking crazy Jamaican commando guy was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I like how they put Jeff Goldblum's dad in there just to be Jewish. Kind of a throwback to the original, but it's like, hey, we need you for a movie. Can you come act like a loving old Jewish father? Perfect.
Drive around the middle of nowhere. Yeah. I could have gone with some more starship battles in that movie. Every time I think back to it, because I was so buzzed and kind of just tired through the second half because I had so much alcohol in me. All I remember was Jeff Goldblum and his dad. I don't even remember Jeff Goldblum's character's name. I just know him as Jeff Goldblum. David. Him and his dad were in a school bus full of children, like driving it through the middle of the desert, chasing an alien queen while fucking alien ships were everywhere and everything was exploding. I just remember thinking, this is why movies exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, visually, it looked really good. Like, it was bright, colorful, explosions, interesting shit was happening. I was never bored throughout this movie. So if you just want to watch a fucking popcorn action movie, this is it. Like
an actual popcorn movie.
Right.
Not fucking popcorn action movies where you get to watch some stupid romance you don't care about for 2/3 of the flick.
Mm-hmm.
Or trying to develop, like, the fucking parental issues between the main character and his fucking dad or whatever the fuck. No, it's just a bunch of fucking aliens and shit blowing up, and Brent Spiner was in it a lot, and I'd fucking whatever. You know, it was funny, as I read before, one of the comments I read on the trailer was, this movie pandered to the Chinese market so much.
How?
Because China got fucking destroyed. Big time in the movie. All of Asia got completely fucking wiped out in one scene. I was like, oh, that's the pandering you're talking about? At least our part of the world is still alive.
Well, at least, 2/3 of it.
Now that apparently they're already filming a sequel right now, I just hope they just get a whole bunch of crazy fucking cast members and go even further with the insanity.
I kind of want to check to see if that's still happening. Because I really do want a third one. But I've also heard this movie hasn't done too good, so they're kind of thinking about maybe not doing it now.
Oh, that would be sad.
Yeah, I'd be really disappointed.
beyond parody in what it was, but that's what made it so awesome. That's what I've always been saying is I fucking like the stupid movies that aren't, oh, we're trying to be dumb so you can not feel bad by enjoying it. It's like, fuck it, no.
Right.
I'm a fucking idiot. I know what's dumb and what's not. Just make it fucking enjoyable, and I'll enjoy it.
I don't need to apologize for liking these kind of movies, and I don't need the movie to apologize for me. Just go out there, be a spectacle, be something to look at and enjoy. Be something that, for 2 hours, I'm not bored. Like, I enjoy the entire experience. That's what this movie is. It's not going to be deep. It's not going to be meaningful. I'm not going to be thinking about the complexity the next day. None of that. Just while I'm watching this movie, I'm entertained. This movie is the definition of a good popcorn action movie. And it's like you said, there's no other bullshit. That's all it is. It's pure. And that's why if you want to see that kind of shit, and I highly recommend seeing it in a theater, it's perfect. It's great. Couldn't be better.
But the CG was just so under budget, and you could just tell it had such
Yeah,
no
Ryan,
quality
look
to
for
it.
balls. Just
Hey, I didn't care.
I know.
Everyone watched the Plinkett reviews of the Star Wars prequels and thinks they're an expert on filmmaking now. I like models and like old practical effects too, but I'm not such a fucking sourpuss that I can't just enjoy CG anyway. I guess enough said about that movie.
Yep.
It was fun, and I don't regret having fun. In fact, it was probably the most fun I've ever had in a movie theater, honestly.
Yeah. It was great.
I was just like, I had a fucking smile on my face for that whole movie. I never had to like stop and look at the ceiling and be like, when will this be over? Something constantly amusing was happening.
Yeah, you're always getting joy out of the movie. There was no point where you're like, next scene already. When will this bullshit end? It was
You know the scene when all the fucking space fighter jets are flying at the alien mothership and they're like about to do their first assault? I fucking saluted the screen. That's how much fun I was having. I saluted the fucking movie. I was like, God bless this movie, its cast, and Ronald Emmerich. He doesn't give a fuck. They're about to have a fucking space battle over the moon. You got fucking the Chinese and the American, everyone. They got like one of every ethnicity up there because it's so fucking perfect. It's great. It's great. It's so fucking great. Go Earth. That's what this movie was about, Planet Earth.
No, my favorite part about this movie, though, is the way that it promotes something that really needs to happen, and that's a one-world government. Because as soon as we get a one-world government going, there's going to be... What?
Yes, they do. A new world order, you could say. Yes,
exactly.
we very much need that. I can't see anything wrong with it.
It's going to be great.
Come at me, InfoWars.
Illuminati did 9/11. All right.
Yeah.
So, something else we played... give me a moment. Something else. You already beat it. We're going to do a feature on it, so we don't want to talk about it too much in length. But we can kind of give spoiler-free initial thoughts, I think. StarCraft, the Legacy of the Void.
I can talk about my feelings.
Yeah, what do you feel?
Upon completion of Legacy of the Void, I immediately started having flashbacks to being 12 years old and reading the StarCraft manuals and being so captivated by it. And enjoying playing the campaign over and over again, and talking with all my friends about StarCraft lore, and then finishing Brood War and being mind blown and being so hyped. And being like, oh man, Jim Rader's gonna come back with a vengeance. He's gonna fuck shit up. It's gonna be violent. It's gonna be crazy. Everyone's gonna be passionate. It's gonna be fucking action packed through the roof. I kind of just I chugged an IPA and just kind of walked around the dark for a bit outside and just kind of kind of question what I continue to live for. A chapter of my life, a very long, drawn-out chapter of my life has been concluded in a very predictably sad way, but it's over, and it is what it is, and I just have to live with it. I feel like I took some life lesson out of it. Everything you enjoy will eventually be destroyed. Everything good eventually comes to an end. Everything you love will eventually be turned to shit, and you'll hate it. Yin yang. There was StarCraft 1, which was great, and then there's StarCraft 2, which is fucking terrible. Life lesson complete.
I will say, from a gameplay perspective, I think Legacy of the Void, they finally kind of nailed it on the campaign end. I'm only halfway through, but none of the levels are that annoying. They're all just letting me play the RTS like it's a fucking RTS for the most part.
I really didn't want to talk about the gameplay until we do the feature.
Okay, well, fine. Pretty much all I was going to say is that and the unit selection's cool. But as far as the story and everything, my impressions on that, I'm pretty impressed on how Blizzard can make something cool and fucking retarded at the exact same time. I just constantly feel that way playing this game, is that, like, this would be cool, this would be awesome if it also wasn't just so incredibly dumb and the way that they're trying to do it. And I'm only halfway through it, so hopefully, things can only go up, I'm sure.
An ancient evil has awakened.
Prophecies,
Cycles,
stones,
chosen ones.
destiny, fate.
Only the best writers in the world can think of these concepts.
Jeez. Anyway, so I played another game, and it has these like same kind of fate bullshit. But I don't play this game for this story at all, so I don't care. Just kind of makes me laugh. But it's called Hex, Shards of Fate. And basically, they did what Wizards of the Coast should have fucking done a long ass time ago. They completely ripped off Magic the Gathering, the card game, and made it a online, free-to-play, collectible digital card game with a big, massive single-player campaign and deck customization. So what the fuck Magic the Gathering wasn't willing to do, these other guys did. And I think they kind of, so far, I haven't played it done. My initial impressions are they're doing a great fucking job. They put in a lot of new interesting mechanics that you could only really do with a digital card game that you can't do with like the real Magic the Gathering. But it's fun, and I'm getting joy that I used to get joy out of Magic the Gathering playing it. They do a lot of cool things where like everybody has like a special power that you play against, so each match is a little bit different, and it's just it's nice. I like it.
Is it doing well?
Like community wise, I have no idea. I like know nothing about this game, the production of it. I don't know how long it's been out. I don't know too much about the monetization part. I know you can buy like booster packs for like $2. And I know you can use real money to buy it. Like, there's an auction house, and you can use the real money or the in-game currency to purchase stuff. I have no idea how much a lot of gold is because I've only been playing it for 5 hours. But all I know is I played it for 5 hours, and I'm enjoying it. And the single-player campaign it's just there, and it's enjoyable. So even if, like, the community sucks, hey, at least I, personally, am getting some joy out of that. And that's great.
I always like it when a developer out there looks at an audience for a bigger IP and are asking for something, and the developers of that IP are like, no, you don't know what you want, and then the other developers like, okay, we'll make it, and then they succeed wildly.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's happening with Hex. I really feel like Wizard of the Coast, the reason why they didn't have it made a good digital, Magic the Gathering game is they were too afraid that they would damage their own sales in the physical realm. They were like, if we make too good of a digital card game, then nobody's going to buy physical cards anymore because they can just play it digitally. And Hex was like, yeah, so fucking what? It's the digital age. This is what people fucking want now.
Yep.
Not everybody wants to drive all the way out to a fucking card shop once a week or twice a month for like 5 hours to do a fucking draft. When I was in high school, I loved Magic the Gathering as a physical game because when you're in high school, you hang out with your friends so fucking much. My friends played Magic the Gathering, so we were able to play games all the fucking time. I'm not in high school anymore. I don't have that opportunity like I used to. And even if, like, say you played Magic the Gathering, it's like we hang out not that often outside of work.
I would think having a digital game would just increase their physical sales because then more people would likely get into it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't ever go out and just get into a card game without knowing anything about it. But if I was to play a game like this digitally, get used to it, learn how it is, I might go like, hey, this is fun. I want to collect the real thing and go to events and meet people.
Yeah, I would think that, but it's just never really happened. They've done a kind of like half-assed digital game called Duels of the Planeswalker that has an annual release. But the deck customization in these games is non-existent to poor. The campaigns are non-existent to poor. It's a joke of what these games can really be like. Because there's normally like you got like 10,000 cards maybe to pick from, or 20,000 cards to pick from to build your entire deck. And in the Planeswalker games, they give you like 80 cards to choose from. And the synergy is kind of forced and predetermined. Whereas in this one, you can totally make it and pull cards out of your deck that like, this isn't performing too well. I'm going to get this new card that I just got. And it works, and it feels so good. Even though I'm not playing against other people, I don't care. Just to be able to play like 2 games against the computer and be like, that was fun. I feel good about myself. I enjoyed this. I missed it.
With all the card games coming out recently, I feel like it's only a matter of time till I get onto one. Mm-hmm. Because there's something about it that kind of appeals to me. I'm just ready for the right one. I don't know what it would be.
Hex is free. You can get it on Steam, or you can download it through their website. It's pretty easy to learn, I think. There's some shit that's kind of confused. Like, they do a good job of explaining most of the rules, but there's a few rules I'm like, I have no idea what revert means, and I had to, like, look up the word revert. Most things, like, you could just hover your mouse over the rule, and it will fucking tell you what it does. There's a few that were neglected.
I want Pokemon the Trading Card Game to get a digital app.
That would be amazing.
That's the only card game I ever got into. So
I feel like they won't do that for the same reason that Magic the Gathering wouldn't do that, except even more so because it's little kids.
Wait, so you said that there were tens of thousands of cards in what, Magic?
Yeah.
There's tens of thousands of cards in Magic?
Oh, God, yeah.
Is there just like so much power creep that everyone always constantly use like the latest 100 or something? How do people plan ahead for that many cards?
Normally, what they do is they release things in what's called blocks, and then when you play, you usually only pull from the most recent block as a way to constantly make it so people keep buying their cards. Isn't necessarily done just completely through power creep, but also like you can't play with the older cards anymore. These are banned tournament-wise.
So then you just got stacks and stacks of useless cards.
Potentially, but what that means is if you play with your friends, you can just pull from whatever. I mean, you could technically pull a deck that's like from all of these cards.
I mean, yeah, I get it. That's just how card games go, but
yeah. Plus, a lot of the time, at least in Magic and same for Hex, is that there's 5 colors, and each color kind of has a theme to it. So even though a new card might be, say, like different, you might not know how it works 100%. If somebody's playing, say, a red deck, you know that they're going to be like an aggressive, fast, lots of like direct damage. So it's not like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's just like cards are kind of independent from one another. There's like general ideas for each group.
Okay, my brain doesn't know what to picture right now. It's very bad at making mental images.
2 hot Japanese girls with big boobs kissing.
How did you know what I was looking at right now?
Alrighty. So those are pretty much the only 2 games I've been playing this week. How about yourself, Ryan?
Fuck. You know how you got a gaming hangover from Undertale? I pretty much got that for Legacy of the Void.
Nice.
I pretty much just wasted the last couple of nights. Like, I should play something. And I look at the Steam library and like the 30 games I got from the sale and said, I don't want to fucking play anything. I've kind of just been sitting around trying to think of something to play. And then everything just seems like too much work. I just ordered Star Fox Zero and the Wonderful 101 in the mail. So I should probably play some of the Wii U games I haven't touched yet. Mm-hmm. I've been looking for a game for my PS4 to play because all I have for that is Bloodborne. And there's fucking nothing on the PlayStation 4 except Odin Sphere just re-released on it, but it's like fucking $60. So I'm sure that's a really, really good game. I really want to play it. My wife wants to watch me play it, but I just didn't want to drop full priced money on something at the moment. I kind of want to start playing Elite Dangerous, but I don't have a joystick, even though it has controller support. I don't know. See, this is just all this shit is what's going through my mind right now. I spent so much time thinking, what should I start playing? And I'm just worried it's whatever I pick, I'm just going to stop an hour in and then go do something else. And then I'm just, it's so hard living in America and just having too many video games to play. I wish people could understand the trouble I go through.
Yeah, it really is truly challenging.
But no joke. It really is kind of the knowledge of I got to go to work in a few hours. What do I want to spend my free few hours on? And then go spend the next several hours of my life suffering. Whatever I spend my free time on, it's got to be something redeemable. So that's really why I just can't get myself to pick up on anything anymore. Here we are, the Video Games Podcast. I'm rationalizing why I don't play video games. I downloaded and played Pokemon Go this morning.
I've heard that it's kind of basic at the moment, but people seem to be really enjoying it.
Extremely. I was going through the menus right before I came here, and it just doesn't seem like... I don't know what you actually use your Pokemon for yet. I know there are gyms, but you had to be a level 5 to go to a gym, and I'm a level 2. Right after work, I guess I'll say this morning, I installed the app before coming to work at like 3 in the morning. When you start at the game, there's 3 Pokemon nearby you, a Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. You pick your starter, and it like tutorializes how you do that. And I walked outside, and I walked to this area in my driveway that had a Pokemon that I know now the game was glitching out because it wasn't displaying what was there. But I was like walking in circles in the fucking street at 3 in the morning, trying to get on top of this Pokemon that he was pointing me to, and the GPS was all fucked up and kept like bouncing me around. So for like a good 5 minutes, I'm just walking around in circles like a fucking idiot. If anyone was looking out the window, they were probably about to call the cops on me. And then eventually I was like, okay, I really need to stop doing this and go to work. But there's going to be some bad things that come of people playing this game in busy areas. And beyond that, I feel like this is kind of awkward. I don't want to be like such a drone that I'm walking around staring at my phone in like crowded areas because this is just bad. But that'll be the person's fault, not the game's fault. It's just the game makes it very easy for really stupid people to be stupid.
Yeah, I've been noticing on the internet a lot of social media posts talking about these idiots are trying to get into my backyard because apparently there's a scyther there, or a police station tweeting out, please stop trying to get into our jail cells. We will not let you have the sand through.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for somebody to wander onto like fucking top secret government property, being like, oh, there's a fucking Zapdos over here. And then just getting shot by like Black Ops soldiers.
I assumed they kind of had to manually place down the locations for gyms. There's very specific landmarks that appear on images. Closest one to my apartment is down the street. There's like a little auto shop place. It's somewhere in the back of their auto shop, like where they park their cars. There's a little dealership, but I don't know if the public is supposed to walk back behind the dealership. And like the landmark specifically, it was like a picture of some really old car or something that they had posted up on the back of the dealership. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to walk back there. Like, why the fuck would they put this here? Most of the landmarks are statues in front of stores and stuff. Like there was one outside of a or Target or something. I haven't actually gone to any of these locations, so I don't know what they do, but there's just a bunch of really odd businesses that they picked out. There's really odd isolated breweries and stuff on the way home. I just had my phone kind of open when I was driving home, just sort of occasionally glancing down, like seeing what was coming up around me. And I actually caught an Eevee on my way home.
Oh, damn.
I was driving home and there was like a fucking, my phone started rumbling. I'm like, what's that? And I was at a stoplight and I looked like, oh, there's a Pokemon in that parking lot over there. I made a fucking U-turn to drive across several roads to get to the parking lot. I'm like, see, this is how you play this game with your fucking car. You don't walk around like a peasant. But I fucking go in there and I'm like, oh my God, it's an Eevee. Fuck yeah. And here I am parked on the side of the parking lot with my engine running, just like throwing Pokeballs. It's a country market across the street from the Value Village.
Okay.
So
hold on. I gotta go catch an Eevee.
Okay.
But seriously though, everything I've heard about this game, it just sounds like a collectathon, like a real world geocache collectathon. It doesn't have trading. It doesn't have combat with your friends. It has like the gyms, but it doesn't even have like real Pokemon combat. It feels like this game could be so much better.
Yeah.
Than what I imagined in my head was so much better than what came out.
It's like I said, I don't even know what most of these locations you could walk to are. I just know there's a shit ton of them right next to where I live. I will say if you don't live in a very urban area, if you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, this game would be kind of a pain. It seems like it's only really useful to play in really busy areas. The two Pokemon I encountered, the other one I caught was a Nidoran, was in the same location, this little town in Woodinville. And I didn't find anything else on the big stretch of land when I was driving home. All the like open fields and grass, there was like nothing out there. So I'm really wondering like what it's gonna be like for people who just kind of live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I've heard some people complain about that. Like, if you're in a small town, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
What they need to do is, like, on fucking, like, Mount Rainier, like, on the top of Mount Rainier, that's where you put, like, fucking Zapdos. Or
yeah.
Mostras.
Yeah.
Like, make people, like, hike up, like, the side of a mountain. Not, like, a dangerous hike, but, I mean, just, like, a safe day hike. But you put them somewhere fucking crazy.
You probably never hiked Mount Si.
No.
Like, there's, like, two tops of the mountain. There's the one where I went to, and then there's like this really ultra steep part to get to the very tip top that only crazy people climb up. It'd be great if they put like, you know, like a shiny onyx on top or something, so people are fucking dying trying to get to it.
Yes, that's exactly what they need to do. Is like, or like in the ocean, like just a little bit too far out, so you gotta like get in a rowboat and like go a mile out.
People just taking boats like miles out of the ocean, getting like stranded at sea. But at least they caught their Lapras.
Or like putting them behind like expensive paywalls. Like it costs like $30 to go up to Space Needle. So you put like fucking like Mewtwo at the top of the Space Needle.
By the way, this game will supply discounts on your Space Needle trip.
Actually, you know what? What people like that one guy saying like these people are trying to get in my backyard to catch Scyther. That's what that fucker should do.
Yeah.
Go into it back there and be like, hey guys, $20, I'll let you around back and you can catch the Scyther. $20 each.
You gotta take advantage of the situation.
Fuck yeah, that's what I do. Also, I totally realized like I'm in a school zone, so I'm tempted to download the app to see what, if anything's like in my house.
There's one right at this elementary school, and you just unknowingly walk there during school hours, and then they go on lockdown, call the cops on you.
And I get arrested. Like, the fuck are you doing? I'm like, there's a Taurus in here, man. Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, I can't comment too much on the game because I don't. There's so much I don't know about it. I don't know what the monetization is like. I know there's a lot of that in the game. All I know is this game will encourage me to go for walks more. And when I do go for walks, it'll be more fun because sitting in your ass at home, you're not going to get anything done in this game. This game is 100% getting out there and going to locations out in the public.
From my understanding, there is a way to get stuff sitting on your ass at home.
Yeah, one of the items I saw is like there's like bait you can put out and like lure Pokemon to you. I don't know how that works, but I have gathered just from going through the menus, it doesn't look like there's a lot there. They're going to have to add a lot of features to this game to make it more like actual Pokemon where you can battle people. Because, yes, it's fun catching rare Pokemon out there because I have already caught 3. So the first being Squirtle, the starter, which I caught outside of a Fred Meyer, which was, my first exposure of here I am in public trying to catch a fucking Squirtle on my fucking goddamn smartphone like some kind of idiot. I will say every time I see someone walking around with their smartphone in front of me, I think, are they playing Pokemon?
Dude, but see, that's why they need like actual combat system with battling, because then you could be like, fuck, you got there, bitch. Is that Pokemon? Fuck yeah, duel right now. Sir, I'm only 4. I don't give a fuck. Do this.
I'm looking forward to leveling up and then going down. There's like 4 gyms near me in this little like area. Like I just noticed the little town that I live next to, there's a shit ton of stuff. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm looking forward to seeing like who else has stuff, like how the gyms really work. Cause I only know the basics of it. I know you're supposed to pick a faction. You can pick red, blue, or yellow, and I'm planning to go red. So I'm kind of just curious to see like how many other people in my area is playing this game and what's out there. And I'm wondering if this is going to be the type of game where if you ever get a smartphone, like, Andrew, what are you doing this weekend? Nothing. Like, let's meet up at 3 a.m. and go hunting Pokemon.
Dude, that'd be fly as shit.
Road trip. Seriously, no, because you and I
fucking like the peninsula to the ocean. Catch Lapras or some
Fuck
shit.
yeah, dude, this is such a good motivation to just go do stuff like that and then go do other things along the way. But I'm thinking because we're both, well, I'm a night owl. I'm always up at like fucking 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm a night owl too.
So I'm like, everyone else will be in bed. I'm going to go hunting Pokemon at night.
Yes, 2 dudes walking around in the middle of the night and occasionally like squealing and screaming about
fuck walking. Fuck walking. We got wheels. We'll occasionally it'll be like going on a Star Trek away mission. We'll be like in our shuttlecraft. I'll be like pretending we're catching. Man, just all my favorite things are blending together in my imagination right now. Mm-hmm. And then eventually we'll like walk into some gang territory without thinking about it and end up getting shot because there's so many gangs in this area. But no, I've been reading like stories about that. Like, oh god, like people are gonna be like walking into bad neighborhoods without knowing it and stuff, and just shit is gonna happen. Lots of poor, stupid people out there are about to get fucked over by themselves. But yeah, I guess I'll be over the coming weeks. I'll be reporting on progress. For all I know, this could be like that other fucking mobile game I played, Star Trek Timelines, where like this game sucks ass. So all I know is this game is 100% gimmick, but it's a really amusing gimmick. So I'm happy with it so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna download it, check it out a little bit too, because I'm like Pokemon. But I kind of feel like they half-assed this as well because they're. Again, if they did too good of a job on this, they were probably afraid that people wouldn't buy the standard Pokemon games anymore, which might actually be like a total possibility.
Yeah.
But I always hate that idea if companies legitimately do that. It's like, we're not going to create something better because we're too happy with the mediocrity that we have.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if they just went the full 9 yards with this, they could have created something amazing, something that literally would be like a community overnight if it had the combat system, if it had, trading, fighting with friends.
Yes. I really need to play around the game more. Mm-hmm. All I know is you could walk around and catch Pokemon, and that's amusing as fuck to see what's out there. I think I saw a Weedle on the way home. I didn't want to turn around for that because it's a fucking Weedle. I noticed there's a screen where it says Pokemon near you. I wonder if this is like a permanent thing, because it just shows the silhouette of all the Pokemon in your area that you could potentially run into. So I assume there's a reason to go out there to like different places in the world and find shit. Looking forward to seeing what Seattle has in general, because we're going down there this weekend. I'm going to be getting really drunk at a beer festival and looking for Pokemon.
That reminds me, though, speaking of Pokemon and Weedle, that reminds me of one of the very first hentai pics I saw. Was Misty getting fucked by Beedrill. So
That was one of your first?
Like, yeah, first hentai pics that I've ever saw.
Man, I mean, the
Saw
first I saw was like tentacle rape with like blood and everything. But, yeah, okay, so we're both kind of on the same level there. Yeah, that's probably the best way to be broken in. Thank you, Newgrounds. What did you just send me?
I sent you the picture.
Oh, man, this is really old school.
It is.
Holy fuck, how did you find this? Like, I've never
remember how I found it
before. This is like...
This is old, man. This is
like better,
2000s.
This is better than the stuff that a lot of actual artists make now. This is like really well drawn.
Yeah. It had to be like a fucking, and they scanned it and everything.
It's not just a Weedle. It's the whole fucking.
Well, that's why she hates bugs. But literally, the only ones that are fucking her are Weedle and Beedrill.
Yeah. That's gotta hurt. I would think having stingers.
I didn't realize this back then too, but I like how in the background her fucking Starmie has its leg cut off.
I just noticed that and didn't say anything because I didn't know what to say about that.
I mean, technically that Pokemon has regeneration, so it can grow it back, but still, it's kind of fucking hardcore.
Why? Oh, okay, because it got some action and just got totally messed up. Is that the point?
Yeah, because she like tried to fight them off.
Oh no! Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yes, it's protect. Okay, I was gonna say it was assisting in the current action. I like how there's a Scyther just like licking her leg. Looking down. I like everything about this picture. Yeah. Why?
No, I like the Metapod that's just like hanging out on her head.
No, this is fucking art. The longer I stare at it, the more I'm like noticing about like why Misty hates bugs in the background, and I'm like, oh, that's right. These are all bug types. Oh, that's right. She hated bug Pokemon. There's some fucking thought put into this.
Yeah.
There's like so many questions I could ask about every little detail. You stumbled along a treasure.
I don't remember how the fuck I saw this as a kid too.
Yeah, it's pencil drawn. Was it on a website?
That's what I'm thinking, that I just like stumbled across it on a website or something.
You know, I'm gonna have to link this image in the description because everyone's gonna wonder.
I'm sure that if people are around the same age as we are and have been on the internet, see like Pokemon stuff, they probably stumbled upon this in the early 2000s too. Like, I don't think this is that rare.
I've never seen it before though. I'm saying did somebody colorize? Oh, the colorization sucks. Yeah. They just took like paint to like fill in. Oh, there's a good colorized one though, but it's censored. Someone must have fucking Patreoned it. Yeah. I wish I could show you the images I came across once because I clicked on something. It was like a banner on Newgrounds and it led me to a bunch of stuff and it just emotionally scarred me. Like, oh my God, why is there blood there? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm really tempted to say Newgrounds, but God, I just honestly cannot fucking remember. It had
to be Newgrounds because Newgrounds is where people went for that stuff back then before it was like really easy to find.
Either that or I was on a forum and it probably had like an 18 or older section. I'm like, what's this? Oh God.
We need to make porn great again. We need to bring back the quality. It's not just video games and comic books and movies that are going to shit. See, porn too. It's lost its soul. You got to bring back that grit, that rawness, that feeling of stumbling across it and feeling like, oh, I'm looking at something I shouldn't be. Now we just look at it and laugh about it. That's
and then jerk off to it like weird people. I think we've spent more time talking about porn now than we have any other topic today.
I wonder how, like percentage-wise, how much time we talked about porn on this podcast since we started it.
I do not know. I'd probably say like 10% because we don't bring it up every episode.
It's because we have free minds. Mm-hmm. We're not restrained by the simple mental restrictions everybody else abides by. We're free. True freedom.
God, it's like bugging me. I really cannot remember where I saw this shit. Because I remember seeing like a lot of other fucked up shit too.
Okay, I'm about to this is not going to return anything useful, but I'm going to go for, you know what? I'm actually going to trust Bing for once. Let's see here. What should I early tentacle rape, Newgrounds link. Maybe I'll come across like a forum or someone's also talking about the same experience as me and someone might happen to link it. I don't know. Bing, do your magic. Everyone says how great Bing is and how much better it is than Google, so now's a chance to prove it. If this finds what I'm looking for, then it will be proof. Okay. Well, it certainly got me a lot of tentacle rape, one of which is Tarzan getting fucked up the ass. I didn't want to see that. I don't think, nothing.
You're a better person for seeing it.
There was tears and blood and a lot of not fun happening. This is an old website. It was probably from fucking whatever. The worst situation you could ever find yourself in is like, hey, that one porn image I saw from 10 years ago, I need to find it for nostalgia's sake. Good fucking luck.
Unless
But-
it's Misty Hates Bugs, and the
Yeah.
icon is Misty Hates Bugs.
Yeah, you had an easy one. It's still remarkable you were able to find it, though.
Literally on Bean, I typed in Misty Hates Bugs, and that was the first image result, so.
Well, Bing has its purpose. Yeah, news.
All right, let's do news.
Porn,
Literally, Microsoft just needs to acknowledge that's all that's Bean's good for. Therefore, that's all Microsoft is good for, and just bring the porn over to the Xbox One.
Yes.
I'd
It's like I said, if any major whatever E3 conference came out and said we're just going to be putting porn on our VR set and not caring about the reaction, then I would have hands down supported them. Here's a news story. I got a "Would you like to update to Windows 10" message when I got home, and then there was a new option I've never seen before saying "decline update," and then it said it would like never ask me if I wanted to update again after I hit it.
No, that's crazy.
That's awesome that it only took them almost a year to implement that 2 weeks before the free update is going to be going away. But at least they finally added it. You know, it was probably just a PR move to say, no, we listened to your complaints and we did what you asked for.
Which is totally a Microsoft move.
Yeah, we did it right
We
before,
listen to our fans.
like right before it had any chance to actually do damage against getting people on Windows 10 for us. That's nice. Nice. You just did it for anyone out there, any hermits out there like me and you, or, well, yeah, anyone who refused to update. It's just there to make people go, oh, you listened to us finally. I like you. I don't like you. Eat my ass. I don't like Microsoft.
Really?
Story of the year. Yeah, I know.
Tell
In
me how
case,
you really
in case
feel.
you didn't notice that already. I'm stuck using Windows 7 until a better alternative comes along, and I don't know what that's going to be. So, fuck me.
Yeah, what I think really sucks too is the DirectX, whatever, the newest one is like Windows 10 only. That's kind of.
The important thing to remember is developers won't use that. If most people continue to use Windows 7, 8, or anything before it, they're not going to fucking purposely develop their games for something that's going to require the use of Windows 10. It's
That's
only
true.
it's only once most people start using it they're going to do it. Like Microsoft, their first party developers are the ones making Windows 10 exclusives. Everyone else underneath them, unless they're forced to, will try to port it wherever they can. So yeah, it's whenever someone's like, "Oh, you want DirectX 12? You need Windows 10." I'll be like, "Well, I don't fucking need it, so I don't care." I do know Hitman apparently has a bunch of visual effects locked out unless you have DirectX 12, but I can live without it. I'll take my freedom over pretty graphics. Freedom, liberty,
America.
the pursuit of happiness while you still can.
So I got a new story.
Okay.
Blizzard is suing Overwatch Cheat Maker for
Yeah.
copyright infringement.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really doubt it's going to go anywhere because I don't think they have any real legal ground for this, especially considering that the Cheat Maker isn't in America.
Yeah.
So I think it's a PR move, or maybe there's something that I don't know about because I'm not good on.
It probably is a PR move because they've been making a lot of stupid PR moves recently. That's kind of their thing. But yes, I was wondering the same, like, how can you, like, they're making cheats for your game. Maybe they are exploiting something in your code that makes it illegal, but why go the length to sue them when you could just patch out what they're doing?
Right.
Maybe
Now-
they're just suing them just to get them to back down, probably.
Actually, I think what it might be is, and I'm not a lawyer, if they can make this actually go to trial, they might be able to say we need a base copy of the cheat engine as evidence.
Yeah.
And if Blizzard gets their hands on that, then that would be the point of the lawsuit. They'd be able to fix that loophole that allows the cheat engine to work.
Yeah, it's probably for some better reason like that.
Either that, or it's a PR move, or they're just fucking retarded and think they can win. Or they have like lawyers on retainer who are lying to them and be like, "Oh no, totally pay us a shit ton of money."
It could be a number of things.
Yeah.
I guess it's good that they're targeting people that are actually doing damage to the game and not the fucking porn artists.
Yeah, who are just helping the game.
Yeah.
I mean, when you make a character, they're no longer really yours. They're like a living, breathing thing. And it's not Blizzard's fault that they gave birth to a character that loves shit up her ass.
Which you meant shit as in just okay. I thought you meant literal shit. I was like, which character are we talking about?
Oh god, which character would be? I'd say Junkrat. Junkrat's probably the one that'd be the shit.
Yeah, the scatological one. Yeah.
Yeah. Or but if we're talking female, who'd be in the scatol?
You tell me you're the Overwatch player.
I'm thinking. I'm trying to female wise. Mercy, because she's kind of German, and they're into that shit. I think she's Swedish though, but there's enough overcross there, I'm sure.
I'm sure Tracer likes to get peed on.
Actually, you know what? Tracer definitely likes to get peed on. She likes to feel demeaned.
She's the one with the really kinky side, probably.
Yeah.
Like really, really dark, goes to really awkward, weird clubs that no one wants to talk about.
I'm sure Widowmaker is the one that like everybody thinks is super kinky, and she is kinky, but like only a little bit. But she's like open about it. Whereas like Tracer is the one that hides all the deep dark shit, but then tries to be completely normal.
Mm-hmm.
May is the obsessive girlfriend, definitely, like super cleany. Like, yeah. Mercy likes supporting 5 dudes at once. So,
oh yeah.
Right back to the porn. Anyway,
I just randomly literally clicked on this link, but I guess Final Fantasy VII is getting ported to the Android.
Yeah, I read about that. That's cool for them.
It looks like they're not fucking up the art style, which would be really impressive if they went back and fucked up Final Fantasy VII's art style in like an old 3D.
How could you do that?
I don't know, but I figured you'd think they'd find a way. Yeah, something like that. They just make it like shitty in a not endearing way. I keep thinking about trying to play through Final Fantasy VII on one form or another. And maybe, I guess, on my phone would probably be ideal for that kind of game, I think. Maybe. We'll see.
Final Fantasy VII, as far as like...
It would give me an actual game to play on my phone that isn't some fucking addiction simulator like the other one I play so far. Or one that's going to get me hit by a car, like the other one I just got. Dude, I don't care. The scary thing is I'm thinking to myself, if I'm ever driving...
God!
And like my phone starts vibrating, and I see something like I really want. If I find either a Bulbasaur or a Charmander, I don't know how rare those are out in the wild, but if I just come across one, and it's like the other direction on the freeway, I'd be like, Chelsea, hey God, and I'll just fucking like pull some like James Bond shit, get a bunch of cars like
do the fucking J turn where you put it in the clutch, you pop it in reverse, and then you just like spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my fear is I'm just going to get so, like, into this that I'm going to start doing really stupid shit like that. Well, not that stupid, but I'm going to, like, start inconveniencing myself or the people around me severely to go catch a Pokemon. And then I'm going to get there and I'm going to, like, fail to catch it or something and be like, fuck! And then everyone's going to get mad.
You're going to, like, park your car for work and see, like, in the opposite direction, like, by the hospital, there's a Pokemon, you're like... I gotta go get this.
I'll tell you, just from the short couple minutes I've played so far, it's gotta take actual mental discipline to keep yourself from being a complete moron. Because, like, your brain, it wants you to do something so bad, but your, like, rational part is, like, in the background, like, hey, whoa, you're in public, stop, pay attention to your surroundings, stop. I'm looking forward to the news stories, which, like you said, are already coming out. Okay, I guess here is kind of, it's not really an important news story, but there was a, in parentheses, Left 4 Dead 3 leak. Maybe you've heard of this?
Yeah, I heard of that too. There's like a video or something.
I think it was a prank, personally. Someone from Valve was sending screenshots to someone else to like explain how to do something, and
it was like a guide that got posted, I believe, on Steam.
Yeah, and in like the corner, there's a folder next to a bunch of other things.
Favorited folders, and it's like the most commonly visited ones, and one of them was Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah, and next to it was like other games that have been out from Valve. So I'm pretty sure this happened for Half-Life 3. In the past as well. This seems like something I could very easily see one of their employees being like, this will be funny. People will notice this instantly and think this is real. And
to be fair, I think out of all of Valve's games, the one that is most likely to be updated and get a third release would be Left 4 Dead, because there's the best chance for monetization.
Yeah, I agree. If that happens, I mean, number one, holy shit, Valve would be actually making a video game again, so I guess that's kind of exciting, but the other thing would just be, like, they have not done a single game with a number 3 in it, so I've always suspected if Valve ever wanted to actually be cool again, they could make Left 4 Dead 3, Team Fortress 3, Half-Life 3 all at once, even Portal 3, put it all out in one giant fucking bundle all at once, and just make the whole internet shit itself. That would get a lot of fucking attention to them, but I think I'm just fantasizing at that point.
How crazy would it be if they just skipped over and it was like Left 4 Dead 4?
What? I don't think that'd be crazy. They already made Left 4 Dead 4. It's called Left 4 Dead.
But not so much Left 4 Dead, but I was thinking Half-Life 4. How much would that piss you off if it was Half-Life 4, no Half-Life 3, and like they didn't resolve that cliffhanger? It was just a giant leap forward in time.
That could work in a way. Yeah. I mean, if it being intentional, It would just leave a big like mystery that would be really interesting to think about. But fuck that, I would still want to see what happens to Gordon Freeman, because that would be a really big fuck you to make us wait for this long. But after Legacy of the Void, I gotta say, maybe if we never get a Half-Life 3, I'm okay with that. Just
because you know what it could be.
Yes, I would think Half-Life 3 will be better than Legacy of the Void, but I just know I've learned from Legacy of the Void it's better to get no ending than a shitty one. Honestly, some people might disagree with that. Some people will need that closure. I don't. I'll happily just be wondering and keep things to the imagination than taking a giant dick up my ass,
Beautiful
all the way up to my brain, to the point where it's coming out of my nose.
You remember the game Evolve?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting relaunched as free to play, which honestly I think it should have been from the start, considering how fucking heavily monetized that game on release was.
Yeah.
It kind of had it was crazy. It was a $60 game that had basically had a free to play model that you had to pay $60 to get into. It's in beta test right now. They're trying to figure out a lot of things, but one of the bulletin points is that you can technically earn everything in game without spending real money. Now, how much time would that take? I don't know, because technically with your form, you could do the same thing. You can buy all the characters with the in-game currency. I've heard people say that would take you like 150 hours to do.
Yeah.
Which, for most people isn't really reasonable. But
yeah, that's free to play.
Yeah, I've always been interested in this game. It looks fun, and I wouldn't mind playing it with friends.
I gotta be honest, I haven't, because I played the versus mode in Left 4 Dead, and a lot of my friends enjoyed it. I just never did. Did you ever play? You said you never played Left 4 Dead, have you?
No.
Oh, yeah, the versus mode is you got one or two people who are the monsters, and then which just like randomly spawn as like the different monsters, and then, or is it just one? I don't remember. It might have just been one player, but then everyone else, sort of the humans, have to like get through the level, and then the monster player has to like try to kill them.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was amusing the first couple times I played it, but my friends kept wanting to play it over and over and over and over again. I just kind of got being the monster relied too much on your friends being idiots in order to win. I just didn't really think it was fun. Yeah, Evolve. It just never really appealed to me.
Yeah, to me it seemed like there was some interest there, but not enough to put up with that business model that they had going for it.
Yeah, don't you remember? It was going to be a huge esport.
Oh, God, that's right. I'm sorry, you could not make something like that be an esport with asymmetrical team sizes.
I wonder if Half-Life 3 does come out and Valve tries to turn it into an esport somehow.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
There's going to be some leaderboard shit or something in it. Well, I mean, no, there was Half-Life Deathmatch in the original and 2. They might put out a Half-Life Deathmatch for 3. I didn't play a whole lot of Half-Life Deathmatch, but it was fun. It's one of those old games that you just play just to have fun and not, jack off to your stats and get skins and trade your skins. I guess I don't really need to say much about like that. That Counter-Strike Go Lotto story is really all over the place on the internet right now. Everyone seems to be aware of it. I kind of want to say I just find it funny. Everyone now is suddenly like, we need to address this gambling situation that this game has brought up. Like, there are really serious issues we need to consider. And my whole perception of the whole thing is like, you fucking idiots. This is what I was asking when they first started putting this shit in the game years ago. In fact, when this whole thing first began, like in general, like, why are we asking ourselves about this problem now? Welcome to the 21st century, people. We've been here for a while. I'm glad that it took a bunch of kids getting manipulated into potentially ruining their lives for people to understand that, there's consequences to the system.
Mm-hmm. That not everybody is of the right mind to resist it like you think, yeah.
And I'm not calling for any sort of ban or anything like that, but it's just like, yes, we need to be more aware of this shit. People need to be more aware of this shit. There needs to be more disclaimers at the very least.
Right.
It is gambling. I don't give a fuck what people... I think I saw a video of actual Valve employees saying how we want the players to understand that they're paying for random chance. They're not gambling. And
yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Yeah, and so, in other words, it's fucking gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I loved how, what was it, the kid who got caught, who was like lying about being head of CSGO Lotto or something. He's like, it's not gambling. Or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then, like, in the fucking description, like, there's fucking people in Counter-Strike Go in their gamer tags who have CSGOLotto.com on it. And when you click on their fucking profiles, and they'll usually have, like, an info thing in their description saying, like, come here to gamble your skins. come here to gamble your stuff. The website itself describes itself as a gambling site, so great attempt at covering it up by those guys when they got caught red-handed lying.
As far as like those guys are concerned, I don't care. I think they're criminals. I think they should be prosecuted because, to my understanding, they did break laws. But discussing that really won't amount to much, I feel.
No.
What I'm more interested in is the fact that where this might lead gaming in general. Like, will there be enough of an outcry that things will get changed, or will Valve just do it on their own? Will they be forced?
I gotta think all like major developers, publishers are just going to do it more and more, and it's always just going to be the small standalone developers who have principles that aren't going to put this kind of shit in their single player games. Because I've noticed it is just, it's in everything now more and more. And I'm playing games with it. I used to not. I do play Counter-Strike, which has this shit, and I just ignore it. I now fucking play mobile games that have this shit in it, and I just put up with it because I've like given into the addictions. And it's making me look at myself and be like, what am I becoming? Like, maybe I should quit this shit cold turkey while I can, but maybe it's too late.
Right.
And it's like I've moved to the stage where I'm just trying to accept it and just learn to enjoy the game around these systems. But now it's kind of disgusting how it's infiltrating everything, though.
Yeah, it is fucking everywhere, and I think it's because game developers are realizing that making a fun game is fun, and people will play it because it's fun. But making a gambling game that's addicting, that's how you make real money.
Yeah.
Look at Konami.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Ugh.
I still don't understand. I never thought the multiplayer in that game was that interesting. I do not know how it was such a landslide success.
And the thing is, that's what encourages people to just put in shitty multiplayer and goddamn everything. Because it might take off for the dumbest fucking reasons.
Yeah, I notice how, like, most people, at least on Nars articles, whenever they announce microtransactions and things, people always kind of oppose it. And then in the game communities themselves, it's like almost become a meme in Counter-Strike, for instance, where everyone who's got really expensive skins always talks about how, yeah, I'm a great player because of my skins. Like, they know it's stupid and they're stupid for buying it, but they try to play it off like a joke, but they're still doing it. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's almost like they're trying to get people to do it through, like, as it's like a joke, like, ha, look at me, I'm buying skins because I'm such a fucking idiot, but I'm going to do it anyway to be a part of the joke, even though it's not a fucking joke because they're actually doing it. That's how I feel about, like, Mountain Dew and Doritos. People are doing all that art for that character Diva and Overwatch with the Mountain Dew and stuff. Like, you idiots are actually just advertising Mountain Dew. Like, yes, it is funny. I guess it's a joke, but this is what they always wanted. I hope you know that. You're doing what PepsiCo wanted you to do. The whole Mountain Dew Doritos thing was so stupid that I think they knew that's how it was going to be received and that it would just live on as like a joke. I see this as a bag of Doritos is sitting next to me, by the way. So
that is your chosen vice.
What, Doritos?
Yeah.
No, I just like spicy Doritos every now and then. Mm-hmm. I feel like, hey, okay, you know what? Fine, fuck you. I liked Doritos before that shit. But I'm just saying now that it's a thing, I am now an asshole for buying Doritos
yes, you
products. Are. Yeah. Well, I'm an asshole anyway, so fine.
You got anything else? Because this is grade A podcasting right now.
I've just been thinking of a whole bunch of kind of things we can co-op ever since I got that idea for how we could potentially do that effectively. I felt like I had a lot of things on my mind all throughout the week, and now I don't. Like, every single time I sit down and record, I feel like this is another awful podcast, but it's probably going to turn out to be great, like the last two.
The last two were pretty impressive.
Yeah, so passionate. Another news story from like 2 weeks ago, I forgot, was that Microsoft discontinued Xbox Fitness.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that.
Yeah, I like how they just completely abandoned the Kinect after pushing the Kinect so hard.
Yeah.
They just completely fucking dropped it.
They listen to their fans.
They listen to the fans, yeah, and they totally ignore the fans who actually use those services because that's what they do. Microsoft is a lot better at ignoring people than anything else.
Yeah, they're pretty shitty.
Also, I guess Splatoon is stopping. I guess they did like these like monthly community events. Because I was going through Amazon and I was thinking, okay, the NX is going to be coming out soon. Now is the time to get all the Wii U games I wanted to play and get them under the belt. And I thought about Splatoon. And then I guess apparently they're like the final monthly event thing that they do in that game is this month. And they're stopping after that. And it looked like kind of a fun thing where they give out little like in-game swag every month. And then they allow you to like pick your faction or something. And I just thought that was kind of surprising because Splatoon was this big hit for Nintendo. And I thought they were going to at least support this game, even if it gets ported to the NX, it'd keep its community alive. It's only been a year. It's like Nintendo's shooter. I figured they would, keep it going longer, but they're not like shutting down the servers for the game, but it seems like they're just kind of like ending the community aspect of it. So yeah, they are shutting down Devil's Third servers though.
What's Devil's? That sounds vaguely familiar.
It was made by the guy who made Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, I think, and Dead or Alive games. I forget his name. He's the guy who wears the sunshades and he brags about how hard he makes his games.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he seems kind of cool, but he seems like he's kind of hit and miss as a developer, it seems. Yeah, Devil's Third was like, it did really fucking bad. It was one of the games that Nintendo picked up because nobody else wanted it, and they were just desperate to get games on their console. And then it came out, and I was like, hey, cool, we might get a cool hack and slash game on the Wii U for an exclusive, and then it was terrible. But I'm told the multiplayer was like the good part of the game. That game had microtransactions in it, apparently, and they've said that they're closing the cash shop for the game or something or they're like retracting the things people bought from it pretty soon. So if that game happened to have any whales in it, which would be really fucking sad if they just got fucked.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing about like buying this online shit is like, if I put money into, say, Overwatch, what happens to that when Overwatch eventually shuts down?
The thing is, Overwatch is less likely to get shut down. If you buy into a game that is likely to get shut down and then you're like, what the fuck? How could you do this? You're the moron. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they'll never put disclaimers in front of these games. They're like, hey, all of your online transactions are likely to go up in thin air someday. They'll never do that. They really should. It's always in the fine print somewhere when you're about to like check out a purchase or something. But, hey, it's your fault. This is video games now. The best way to handle it is to not buy into it.
No joke. It's just don't. And I mean, I used Overwatch as an example just because that's, pretty common, but I think Overwatch is like the least offensive when it comes to this shit. Like, there's other games, like most free, like fucking Clash Royale. What happens to Clash Royale when Clash Royale gets abandoned? And all the people that sunk like thousands of bucks into that just to be moderately better at a fake RTS game than other people.
Yeah.
You're out all this money.
I wish everyone who spent hundreds of dollars on CSGO skins would think about that.
No joke. What happens when they come out with CS, whatever happens after Go?
Counter-Strike 2. I've always wondered if they'd ever do that. They won't. And that's why they won't. Those specifically the skin system in Counter-Strike, I don't have any problem with it. I have a problem with all the people who eat it up. Mm-hmm. And are constantly like just trying to push it everywhere and trying to bring up trading everywhere. And are like talking about skins in-game over voice chat instead of like relaying important game-related information. It's that kind of shit. That's what sucks. And then the idiots who go overboard with the CSGO lotto, and now there's all this negative attention brought on video games about video games are turning our children into gamblers now. That's going to be the new thing.
Do you remember when you used to be like able to actually unlock this shit through playing the game?
I think I do. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Like fucking even Overwatch still has it. Every character has 2 sprays that you have to get through doing achievements on those characters. And it's just like, that shit is so much cooler because if you have it, it's not, oh, I got lucky by leveling up, or oh, I spent money on this. No, it's I went out there and I did something that might be challenging to do. Some of those achievements are hard as fuck. And if you have that, that's bragging rights practically.
Yeah, and whether or not the developer claims that they didn't do this, that having monetized unlocks always factors into like how long they make you play to get whatever you're trying to get, or how hard it is, or whatever the fuck. Even when they claim no, that's not the case, they always paid attention to that detail.
Well, just look at like fucking Xenoverse. Like, what was the previous one before it? Tenkaichi 3?
Yeah.
And it had how many?
Actually, no, it was Battle of Z. I don't know.
Whatever. Tenkaichi 3 had like a fucking shit ton of characters.
Yeah.
And then Xenoverse comes out, and now it has DLC characters that you have to pay for.
Yep. Yeah, I was saying the same.
Yeah. Like, you know what? People are like, duh, you just don't buy it if you don't want it. But it's like, except shit's being taken away from me, and that's the part that bugs me. And because people buy into it, they just keep doing it because it's more rewarding.
King of Fighters 14, which is coming out this year, apparently there's going to be like 50 characters in it or something on launch. It's going to have a shit ton of characters, basically, is what I'm getting at, whereas like all these other fighting games have less. I don't know if it's going to be balanced at all, but people are kind of hoping it's going to be a good fighting game after Street Fighter V pissed so many people off.
Yeah.
Supposedly, it's being helmed by some Chinese company who bought out SNK or something, so a lot of people are expecting it to be terrible. But there's like hopes in it because it just looks like a really pure, honest fighting game that's like getting away from all this shit. Even though I've never played a King of Fighters game, but I've been really craving a fighting game. Every fighting game I've been looking at recently, there's a reason for me not to get into it.
Right.
And I'm hoping King of Fighters turns out to be really good because maybe I'll pick up with that one.
Well, why don't you just play the best fighting game? You already own it. Smash 4.
Oh yeah, the best fighting game ever. Because I just got so good at that game, it just got boring.
Right, that's right. It's a very easy to master game. There isn't a lot of skill behind it.
Yeah, it's basically just button mashing.
Yeah, it is. It's totally. I mean, it's just like a.
There's not even any combos or anything like that to memorize. So basically, yeah, it's.
You got anything else?
No, let's call it.
Let's call it.
Independence Day was great.
Independence Day was amazing. If you like this podcast, go see Independence Day. I'm sure you'll like it because it's dumb like us.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Hey, Ryan, where can they find our dumb podcast?
You can find our dumb podcast on our dumb website, explosionofhappiness.com, or our dumb iTunes feed, Explosion of Happiness, or our dumb YouTube page, Explosion of Happiness, or the RSS feed on our dumb website, explosionofhappiness.com, the name of our dumb podcast, helmed by us dumb hosts.
Until next week, goodbye.
Bye-bye. I kind of question what I continue to live for after finishing Legacy of the Void. It's
Siren.
like a chapter. Yes.
God, somebody's dying. Like, they gotta go to the hospital just so they can interrupt our fucking podcast. This is bullshit!
Yeah, we got video games to talk about.